Okay, what is it? What was going through my heart and soul? DNA, DNA antennas, DNA antenna wars. How an antenna works, how a transmitter works, how a stereo receiver works. Frequencies, vibration, communication, the morphogenetic field structure. How it is that you can communicate. For example, I'll give you one example. This is what I was thinking about. Rupert Sheldrake, a microbiologist out of Cambridge University, he teamed up with Bruce Lipton, uh, who he really teamed up with primarily as a Matrix trilogy, was Terence McKenna, who was an art historian, but he was also taking a shaman's journey and covering essentially the history of botanical gardens and a lot of spiritual knowledge that was being lost, particularly in the Amazon basin, plant medicine. So he started wanting to recover that knowledge through those plants that are experienced by experiencing the plant. Okay. Which is, if you will, an altered state from a previous state of consciousness or a previous experience you were experiencing before in energy and frequency and vibration. Now you're experiencing a different visual information field that is informing you of what you're being informed of by the experience in your mirror. So you're learning, right? And so it makes it pretty obvious if you're running a software terminal antenna that you're in essentially an antenna war. But it can also be perceived as what I call, if you will, because I play with this language a lot and a lot of metaphorical and multiple translations that relate to multiple databases or other library builders on a tree network, which is called the Tree of Life. Okay. But Rupert was mentioning one time in one of his presentations about how a game that these children had played in Los Angeles, I forget the name of the age group, and they had mastered the game. In other words, they had brought it to a level at which they couldn't bring it any higher than that because that was the highest skill level modality. So then what they did is they took that game to another group of children in China who were unaware of, at least to their knowledge, that these children have never played this game before. And when they began to play that game, they started off where the other group had left off, which means it was already mastered. That means they're in a communication system that is connected through neurons, circuits, cellular circuits. So the information that is related to the experience of mastering the skills in Los Angeles by those children was transferred, okay, into the consciousness of the cells that are running through children in a completely different place on the planet. That's information transfer, knowledge transfer, skill transfer. Now, you can sort of scale this up when you have DNA experiments being done inside a planet ship, right? And then they can monitor the consciousness that is rising, if you will, through the circuits by virtue of the genetic engineering changes that are taking place within those circuits. And why would they want to run those kind of experiments? Right? So now you get into the whole terrain of genetic engineering on behalf of what love is, and genetic engineering that is behalf on destroying what love creates. Weaponized genetic engineering and benevolent genetic engineering on behalf of love is the law. See? Remember the Nazis? Superintelligence. The master race. Like ascended masters. Right? I'm a master. Right? So now you get into space, vectored space. And who controls the space? Controlling the energy in that space. Pay the man. How much open space is there on this planet where people can go wherever they want freely, where they're not held captive to pay the man in electrons? Right? Now you're held captive to the time clock, chasing electrons, in order for you to be able to find a place where you're not going to be molested by them. Because they want your energy. So they're energy harvesters. So they play fake gods, thinking that the fact that they possess knowledge of how to do things is an inverted or a perception of power that is corrupted, because it's not what love is. Love is the most powerful energy. And they know that. They do know that. So they want to sidestep it. So how are they going to sidestep their own evolution in their own mirror to become what love is? Technology. Technology transfer. Now I don't have to account for myself because I'm an immortal. I've learned how to extend myself as long as I want using technology because I know how to do that. That allows me not to have any accountability, doesn't it? Now I can do as thou wilt. That the technology and artificial intelligence now integrated allows me to be able to do. That's the true battlefield. It's artificial intelligence integration, or if you will, the inception of technology and the inception of what love is. Big diff. And that difference can be measured in a torque speed differential between loss and gain in energy that you experience in your own battery here